Hello, second graders, and welcome to our phonics lesson for today. So, earlier this week, you interviewed your parents about what they do for their jobs, and you learned some very fabulous, important, and impressive words from them. And I had a chance to kind of look over some of the words that you learned, and they really were fabulous, important, definitely for our vocabulary, and also really impressive. I was impressed that you were able to find out the meaning of those really cool words, and also learn how to spell those really cool words as well. So you guys did a great job with that. So now you're probably thinking, after that lesson, that the best way to learn new fancy words is to kind of eavesdrop on adults and their conversations. However, I'm going to tell you a little secret. There are actually people who study the best way for students like yourselves to learn vocabulary. So there's this woman named Freddie Hebert, and she is a professor of vocabulary way out in California. And she has found out something that is actually kind of amazing. Have you ever heard of the word rare? Like there are rare birds, so birds that you hardly ever see. They are rare. If you hardly ever see them and you see them like once in a while and you're amazed that such a rare bird has landed on your doorstep, or you see it outside on a tree. If it's a bird that you don't hardly ever see, it's very rare, right? It's a very rare bird. So Freddie studied the use of rare words, and she found that many adults talk without using any rare words. And she also learned that children's books use way more rare words than adults do. Pretty crazy, isn't it? So a lot of you may have read this book before when you were younger. This is Goodnight Moon. It's actually one of Mr. Peglow's favorite books when he was a younger kid. And so many of you have probably either heard of this book, or you've read it before, or you've seen it. This is just one good example of a book that actually has a lot of rare words in it. There are actually twice as many rare words even in this book, which you probably think is just a little kid's book, than there are in many adult conversations. So that's pretty interesting. That amazed me. But then when I started rereading the book, I actually realized that it is pretty true. So what I want you guys to do for phonics today is I want you to kind of look through some books in your home, particularly children's books like Goodnight Moon. Okay, maybe even like picture books. Maybe not so much your chapter books, because the chapter books that we're reading now for like independent reading, those are all books that are filled with a lot of words that we shouldn't know yet, right? That we're kind of challenging ourselves. So I want you to really look through some children's books or picture books, if you can, in your home that might have some rare words. Okay, so you're looking for words that might not be long, they may not be hard to read, you might not have to sound them out, but they're rare. You don't see them very often in other books that you're reading, or you may not use them very often, either like when you're speaking or when you're writing. Okay, so those are kind of the words that I want you to see and look for. And I'll give you an example. So in Goodnight Moon, I'm just going to turn my body so you can see the words in the pictures. But this page, these two pages right here have some pretty rare words in them. So it says, and a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. Mush is a very rare word. You don't see that word too often in other stories. And a quiet old lady who is whispering, hush. Now, you might use hush sometimes when you're speaking, like if you're trying to get people to quiet down, but a lot of times we just do shh like that, right? We don't really see the word hush a lot. So those are two examples of rare words that we found in just a children's book, right? A children's book or a picture book. So again, I really want you to look for words that you might not be used to seeing a lot when you're reading. Okay, so look through some of your books at home and be on the lookout for a rare word. Okay, when you are looking through your books and you do happen to find a rare word that you don't normally see a lot, or that you don't normally use a lot, type it into the Google Doc that's right next to this video. Okay, and just write that word down, and I want you to try and maybe find 4 rare words. They don't all have to be from the same book. So if you only see one rare word in just the one book that you're using, go back and try and look for other books and see if those books have rare words in them too. Okay, so but the challenge is to find 4 rare words in any book that you have at home. Okay, so that's that's our phonics lesson for today. Okay, again, looking for those rare words, writing them down in the Google Doc. I can't wait to see some of the rare words that you guys found in your books at home. All right, so good luck. Hopefully you can find 4 rare words, which is the goal, and can't wait to see them. All right, bye guys, thanks.